and we're entering Africatown now. When the 13th Amendment was passed, of course, Abe Lincoln had been assassinated, but when it did pass, it freed and abolished slavery throughout the United States. When that happened, most of the individuals that was on the Clotilda, they came back to this area because they said if we could get back to where we got off of that ship, we could get back home. And they brought their customs, their culture to this community, and they said, this is our Africatown, and that's how it got its name. Zip code wise, it's a part of Mobile. It's about a 12.5 square mile area. So they ended up staying in this community. And I'll tell you, I stopped right here because about 18 months ago, one of our local journalists, a guy by the name of Ben Raines, was out in our delta looking for the Clotilda and fishing. Now, and it was in January, and so the tide was low. And he saw the bow of a boat sticking up, and he says, I think that's the Clotilda. We've been looking for it for 160 years. When Ben Raines said, this is it, we got attention from all over the world. National Geographic picked up the story. They sent in one of their lead senior editors. He came in, and in a short period of time, they said, no, it's not the Clotilda. Well, during that brief period of time, the community was awarded a $3.5 million grant. And that grant is to establish a welcome center. And it could be right where we are today, okay? Well, during that time, National Geographic also financed 9 divers, international divers, to come into Mobile, to go out to our delta. Our delta is the second largest delta in the U.S. Absolutely beautiful, okay? They go out, and they were out there for 2 weeks, 14 hours a day, looking for the Clotilda. Well, not only did, at the time, they said, we found 10 ships. They identified one, which was the Tuscaloosa. And they said, we're going to present a very comprehensive report to the community in an open meeting, but not today. And they did ultimately. They came back 9 months later, had an open meeting, and they said, we found the Clotilda. That's it. It's 25 feet under water in sand. Not for sure if we can bring it up. It might disintegrate. That's to be determined. They have engineers right now that are trying to determine if they can bring it up. They did bring up some artifacts, but the most profound thing that took place was the fact that they validated that that was the Clotilda. There's about 300 fourth and fifth generation descendants that live in this community. They were finally able to bring closure that that's the ship that their ancestors came over on. For 160 years, it's just been a rumor.